Hi there, it's Beverly here over at Crafting Chaos with part B of the Critter Card series, part 4, the Cunning Fox. This is the assembly part. I'm working on a roughly 5.5 by 5.5 blank white card, and that's the size of the card that I'm using today. And what I've done is I've used my matting layers to produce orange on brown, and then I've just put some nice pattern paper which looks like woodland to start with. Now I'm getting the pieces together, so I've got the two parts for the head, the cream and the brown piece that fits on top. So I'm just going to put some glue, and again I'm using my favourite Pinflair bookbinding glue, which is a super strong adhesive and it's got very low water content so it doesn't warp your cards. So now I'm putting the head into position so that you can see the two-tone effect, so they've got that two-tone head for the fox. Next I'm going to be not quite happy with the position of that, so I've took it off and I'm going to re-stick it. I think I just had it a little bit too high and I'm wanting to move it down a little, and that's looking better now. So then I'm going to take the body, I'm going to position it roughly where I want it to be, checking the size on my card, and it just fits really nicely on this 5.5 inch by 5.5 inch card. So I'm going to use some double-sided foam adhesive to just pop the head slightly away from the body. Now, incidentally, the backing paper that I've used there is by Tonic Studios, and it's a tonic sort of backing paper available in an 8x8 paper pad. So next I've got the fox's tail, the brown part, and I'm finding the cream part that goes underneath to give us again that two-tone effect. And I'm sticking it down and making sure that everything is level and I'm happy with it. And then I shall be sticking it to the back of the fox, so I'm just going to put some glue just at the tip like so. I'm going to find where I like it and then I'm just going to press it down like so. Okay, so that's quite straightforward. So the next thing I'm going to work on are the fox's back feet. So I'm getting that one out to see how it looks. So it's as though really it's like hunched down and sat on its back legs so that you can just see the haunch of the knee, if you will, poking out. That's what it's meant to resemble. And I'll do the one on the tail side. I found this one a little bit trickier because it's getting the angle seemed a bit strange with the tail already being in place. In hindsight, it might have been easier if I'd have stuck the leg down first and then put the tail on afterwards, but hey ho, we're going to go with that. So I'm just sticking it into place, checking it from the right side that I'm happy, just going to adjust it slightly, and when I'm happy we'll leave it at that. Okay, so we'll do at that. So next I'm going to be working on the front paws, and because I've got that double-sided tape under there, I might just trim down the paw at the leg at the top, taking the top off, just so I can slide it under the head so that it looks like it is in fact under the head. And again, I'm just going to use a thin slither of the foam tape adhesive to stick the fox and give it kind of that three-dimensional look, so that it's sticking out away from the body to give it some depth. So I'm just removing the backing and I put that in place. Okay, so next I'm going to be doing the same with the other leg and sticking that into place. Now, if you're interested in the size of the matting layer that I've put in the paper with the leaves, it's approximately 4 inches and just over 4.5 inches squared is the paper piece underneath, and the matting layers are cut from the file as we created it. And also I did the 4 stitching just on the orange one where it would show. I could have used white on my dark layer, but I didn't in this case. I just decided to put it on that one. So now I'm seeing how it's looking, just sticking everything, making sure I'm just wanting to move that a little bit. So I've just detached it, and then I'm going to stick it down where I think it looks better. Okay, so again, like I say, if you want to make these minor changes, you can, and all that messing from the back is not going to show on the front of your work. So next I'm going to grab both pieces of the ear, so the brown part, and also I did a cream part, and I've decided that it'd be easier if I get both bits out because it's difficult to tell which one goes with which. It'd be easier once I've got all 4 pieces out. And then I'm just going to put on a small dab of glue into the centres of the ear. I'm going to use my pick-up tool to pick up the small pieces and place into position. This is such a cheap pick-up tool. It's just looks like a white pencil, but it has some like stickum inside. And I think I just purchased that on eBay, and it's absolutely brilliant at what it does. It's not too sticky, so it puts things down again, but you can actually pick them up. So now I'm just putting a little bit dab of glue on the bottom of the ears, and I'm going to get the head where I want it and then push the head onto the ear rather than try to do it from the other way. So again, I'm slipping this underneath and pushing down to get that effect. Okay, so that is more or less him done. So now I'm going to be looking for the eyes. So I need the 2 round circles, or rather oval white parts, which I'm just going to put 1 dab of glue, and then I'm going to go straight into my pot to find the little black pupils and stick them into position. It just means I've got so much more control over, and if it's not quite picking up as well as you want it to, that's the nose part I'm pulling out, you can always just damp it a little bit and then it picks it straight up for you. So it's brilliant. Might just need a sharpen. When it starts doing this, it usually needs sharpening. So then I'm going to roughly see where I want the eyes on the fox, and immediately once you start to get the eyes on these critters, they start to come to life. They're really cute. So then I'm going to put the eyes into position, so as you can see, and again for the right eye, and then we're going to see how he's looking on the card. Oh, sticking the nose. We nearly forgot the nose. I forgot to make the nose in the video, but I did tell you about it at the end and the dimensions. Stick the nose in, and there he is, super cute. So I'm going to find out where I want him on here. Might bring my greeting in, which incidentally I've just stamped and matted and layered to match my back layers. And again, I've stamped that in the My Favourite Things Licorice Hybrid ink. Very versatile ink that you can use for watercolouring and also alcohol markers. So you're not messing about looking for which ink you need to use. So I do really like this ink. And it's my go-to one at the moment. I seem to be using that more than any other for just stamping greetings or images for colouring. So I'm just attaching my greeting, and I'm going to have it so that my fox is just peeping onto the top of the greeting. His ears will be sort of popping over onto that. So I'm going to use some double-sided tape, but I'm going to get my Zots out as well, see if I'm going to need them. I'll see if I can manage it with the tape first, and if not, then I'll resort to some more Zots. The Zots, again, very sticky, but because I've got a lot of spaces behind here that I can attach the double-sided foam tape, I might not need it in this case. Notice that I will be putting a double layer of tape on the head, because bear in mind I have popped, that's kind of popped up, so it's like a layer up behind already, so it needs to have that extra layer there to make everything level. So that's ready now, so I'm just going to remove all the tape, just carefully peeling it off. It's not as sticky today because it's not quite as hot. And like I said, I'm just going to have the ears peeping onto the greeting. Just going to look for an embellishment now, and I'm thinking like a metal charm, thinking something wildlife, and I think I go for an owl in the end. So here I've found a little metal brass owl, if you will, little charm, and I'm seeing where it looks good on the card, and this time I am going to use a Zot. So I'm going to curl it up and stick it underneath into the recessed part of the owl, and then I will stick it firmly down onto my a piece of artwork, my card. So here we go, just curling it in and squishing it in, and then I'm going to push it down on to the card like so. I'm just thinking I want something at the other side. I don't want to go too flowery, but I have got some rather nice, in a similar tone, little metal roses. They're about a centimetre more or less, maybe slightly less in size, and I think I'm going to decide to put that just in the corner there. So I'm just going to put a little bit of the pin flare adhesive onto that. They're not very heavy. I think they're actually made of aluminium, but then coloured, and that's the card complete. I didn't do it in the video, but I did add some little dots of white to the eyes and the nose, just to give it that look of life. And that's it. I hope you've enjoyed the video. If you have, please like, share and subscribe. And I'll see you in my next video. Make sure you look down and comment in the comments box, and I'll be happy to answer your questions. So thumbs up to us, comments box for you. Thank you for watching. Bye for now. And there's the finished card.